I can edit it. So
you can.
I can bring us in a little bit. Yeah, I want to make sure we get our sponsors. They don't pay us any money.
Are you just saying that because I don't pay us any money? Is that why you're saying it? You keep saying it.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back to the barn again. My name's Jonathan.
And I'm Mike.
And we are going to do a fresh episode with no guest.
Fresh.
Just Mike and I. Welcome
Fresh.
to it.
Yep.
Doesn't get fresher.
No notes. We're what you would call how you say we're winging it. We're gonna wing it. Yeah, we're off.
That was awesome.
We're on the wrong.
We have no plan.
How you say?
No topics, but it's going to be the best episode.
Yeah, we're counting on this to be the best. I don't know what we were trying to figure out with our last episode with Doug Ivey. What episode we were on? We've done so many of them.
It's like 237 or 8.
36.
It was 36 or 37.
36 or 37.
I can't remember.
Yeah. Before we dive too far into that, check out Doug Ivey's podcast. We did it earlier. He's awesome. He's got some cool stories. Lived with a convict.
That happened.
That was an interesting conversation. Invited him. Yeah, that was crazy. You have to watch the episode, but pray for him, and he's kind of got like a heart for prison ministry. So pray for Doug. Pray for his ministry.
Yeah. So let's catch up.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we dropped an episode. So we thought we'd catch up on how life's going for Mike and I, what we've been going through, dealing with, and just see if any of those subjects touch your heart. So I'll start. That way I'm not softballing you and hitting you in the face with it. So I finished. I'll lob one if you want one.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, just don't. See?
Okay.
So I finished up my retreat, the prodigal retreat.
Have we not done an episode since
Nope,
then?
we haven't.
Oh, come on. Okay.
So Mike was the keynote speaker, and
that tells you not to go to the retreat.
No, Mike actually did give a talk, and it was fantastic. It is
Thanks.
a fairly Ignatian retreat, but the way that I felt God was leading me, that it wasn't your typical Ignatian retreat, because there was talking, so it was mostly silent. I'll say that. But the conversations that we had with Mike and I and the guys were just fantastic. Like a genuine, a lot of curiosity about how do they connect with other men, because it was a retreat just for men, and that was the theme that came up, is this need for us to connect with each other. Like that's one of the ways that we connect with God, is by connecting with other humans, and as men we really need that in our lives. That's part of what Mike and I do with our coffee group, which is now kind of flowered into we have our Friday morning group, we have a Tuesday morning at 6 a.m., and then we've even got some nights at Boiler, Monday nights, Boiler Brewing Company has bingo, and I've invited some guys to that who've shown up, and we stay a little afterward for some drinks and stuff. So it's gotten so big now that we have 3 different groups that are going, and it's just about connection with other guys that can be honest and transparent and vulnerable, and it creates an intimacy. And so that's what we experienced on the retreat. I had 13 or 14 guys that showed up, and it was great. It was really great. I got to learn a lot about myself in that experience. And Mike had asked about the discernment for doing that, and so we had a conversation earlier that we'll kind of share a little bit or expand on. Like, how do you know if God's calling you to something versus is this just something that I want? And can those two be the same? Yada, yada. So, like, I first felt God asking me to lead a retreat when I went to Mike's retreat. He has the Forged in Faith series that they've done a handful of times, and they're going to continue to do. And I just felt very inspired by what Mike had done there, because I know Mike is just an average, plain Jane guy with very little talent.
So average.
I mean, look at him.
Wow.
Just
Dang.
look at him. So if Mike can do it, I thought any schmuck can do. No, I'm kidding, Mike. I'm kidding.
That is probably what draws people to me. They're like, if he can do it, well, then I can do this.
Yeah.
This is like...
No, well, you were very inspiring in that.
Thanks,
that like, you are an average guy, and I know, just like me, you have your struggles and your strengths and all that, but you felt called to lead. and I saw the way that guys connected with other guys on your retreats, and found out some things about themselves. And I thought, well, I have a gift in that area too, and I wonder if there's something there. So I just prayed with that, and God placed it on my heart to host an event like that as well. That wasn't focused as much on the external as Forge and Faith is. I mean, Forge and Faith goes into the internal as well. Spend time with the Eucharist and praying and Mass. But mine was focused more on the internals of going into our emotions and our feelings, which is easy for us as guys to say, like, those aren't important, or I need to just put a pin in those things. So I felt prompted to do that, and I continued to pursue that even when some hurdles came up that I had to overcome, because peace was the guiding factor for me in that discernment. And so that was kind of our conversation, is like, how do we each discern things, and how do other people discern things? And we thought we could maybe talk about that a little bit, just as a conversation piece, and see where it goes.
Do you remember when we had a conversation in the summer about the retreat? I think it was the summer, but you were talking about what you were going to do. I mean, it was very raw. Like, I don't think you had much of a skeleton outline of what you were going to do, but I remember, did you ever document like the process of the feelings that you had as you walked through that? I feel like we kind of talked about it, and it's funny that we're sitting here in the end of December. Christmas is coming up in a couple days, and your retreat was in October, and how all that time leading up to it, trying to find speakers, people dropping out, all these things that happened, and all of a sudden we're there, you're doing it, and it's done, and people still, like, you even started a thread, and people still reach out, and I guarantee you that somebody's gonna say Merry Christmas on Christmas, like that whole group that you were a part of. So
one of the guys just called me a little bit ago.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. He
So
Merry Christmas.
So I mean, it's amazing. What I also was thinking about when we were talking was, I think it was 2022 when the coffee group started, and we reference it pretty much in every video that we've done, all 400 of them, and but I can't imagine life without it. It's the staple that we've got in our life, that it lives kind of in conjunction with our families and other relationships we have, but it's this separate entity that it's like this living organism. I don't know how else to describe it, but if you're ever down, if you're ever wanting to celebrate something, if you're ever needing prayers, if you have something funny that you want to say and nobody's around, like the coffee group that's where I always fought technology, and I hated it. I was in IT, and I was like, I hate technology and I want to throw it away. Well, there are some benefits for sure, and that's one way to stay in contact with somebody or a group of men, and that has been amazing. That I mean, and I can send a message right now, and then I would get 5-6 responses back. Somebody would make some funny comment, somebody would give me some prayer hands, whatever it is, and so I don't know how. I guess I don't know how to say, like, how important that is. Like, if you are looking for that is something that I would pray that you find, because you can have a beautiful family, a beautiful wife, husband, whatever, and but if you're a man looking for something else too, there's something about being around other good men who you can laugh with, who you can be vulnerable with, and we've talked about it before, but every year that passes since we started it has just deepened that understanding that I need that. So I would encourage you to seek that out. And if you can't find one, start one. Like, if you see somebody, like I believe if you ask the Holy Spirit to help you, or in Jesus to help you identify people that you can pull into that group, ask him to help you, because like a lot of the guys that I think come to coffee, sometimes I'll see somebody at daily mass. Hey, if you want to go grab a cup of coffee, and that's how it starts. I don't know why it's around coffee. It's just easy and cheap, and it's you can sit and talk, and but anyway, I would encourage that. It's been life changing for me. I know, Jonathan, it's been such a a place to just vent and talk and be just around other good men. And like we were talking about, 6 a.m., dark out, cold, 13 guys showed up today. And somebody, I was just watching somebody talk about motivation, I think is what they were talking about. But they were like, instead of focusing on the obstacle to getting to that end point, focus on the end point and what the fruit of that looks like, and then you'll get past the obstacle. So instead of focusing on, I got to get out of bed, the alarm's going off at 5:20, whatever, but getting to the point of like, okay, I see what 6 a.m. looks like. A bunch of guys sitting around talking about whatever, and then you have the fruit of that the rest of the day of like, that was great connecting with those guys. And I know you couldn't make it this morning, but it was like, you know what that looks like. You've been there multiple times. So
yeah. As you were saying that, it made me think of the movie The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, where like it's a fellowship of men that are on this journey together, and how interdependent they are on each other. I think as men, we tend to think, one, we can do it alone, or two, that if we're married, that our spouse is going to be everything we need to lean on. But like, we weren't designed that way. We're meant to be in community and community with other people.
Yeah. And that makes me think too that God uses other people. Like he's always using somebody else to like help us with some word of support or criticism maybe or whatever. But you surround yourself with a bunch of good men that are trying to live the gospel and trying to stay close to God. Well, then he's got all these other mouthpieces to utilize to speak to you. So, that's, was it last Friday, somebody was talking to me and I was like, this is, God could easily weigh in and just give me, what I need to hear. But he uses other people, and that's the way he likes to do it. And so when you surround yourself with enough good people, sometimes a consistent message comes through and you're like, okay, I am going to quit my job and I'm going to try to do this, and I've got support. And anyway, yeah,
I've had that come through books. Like when I'm reading, I'll see something come up in scripture, and then a book that I'm reading, and then something I read on the internet, and there's a common theme, and I can see how God put those in my life in that certain way. And it's the same way with having a group of men around me that I know they've got my back at all times. I moved a year ago and I had a dozen guys show up.
Yeah.
I've had other, and I know like with Mark Bohadi's, when he passed away, his wife needed and still sometimes needs help with yard work and stuff, and the guys show up just at the drop of a hat. I think somebody had a downed tree. So we're just there for each other, and there's something to that we start to learn and see and feel the consistency of God showing up for us when we can see it in other people. It's a reminder of the goodness of humanity and the goodness of God.
Was it Taylor Ashburn who was talking at one point? Like we have an episode with Taylor, but I can't remember if it was on his episode. But I feel like he was the one talking about sometimes you have another group that's like a Bible study or something, and it's good. Oh, it was at the retreat. I was at your retreat. One of the guys was talking about having a Bible study, but it never got below the surface. Like nobody ever wanted to take it below that initial surface, and that's the key. Like if you can get to where you're like, this is where I'm struggling, I'm embarrassed. Like that, if you can break it down and be vulnerable, man, that is when you can really come together with a group of men and really start to heal and find out that you are valuable and all those things that you thought about yourself are a lie. And so, there's just another aspect of the group.
Well, and it's the same with women too. Like we have a mutual friend, and she said like she's envious that we have this because for women, a lot of times they don't have this either. It can turn into a group that's negative and whatnot, but like really finding other people that are like-minded and willing to be vulnerable with each other and lift each other up and pray for each other in hard times. It's just life-changing. I don't know how else to say it. And to your point, like Mark Bohadi and Mike started it. And so if you're sitting at home going, man, I wish I could find that. I mean, sure, you can join ours. Just contact us, DM us if you're in the local area, and we'd be happy to get you into that. But it's like Mark and Mike, just start your own. Find one other guy and be vulnerable with him. A friend of mine, he shares that story in his recovery story from addiction, that it was a friend of his that was vulnerable with him and said that he was struggling with addiction, and that ended up helping him get into recovery for his own addiction. And from there, like, that guy now sponsors tons and tons of guys over the years, I think 9 or 10 years now. And he said it's because that one guy was vulnerable with him, and they're good friends to this day. So it does just take one person being vulnerable to create that bond of true intimacy that we're all seeking.
You know, what might be interesting is if we could help support that. Like if we knew that certain people were in a certain area, like let's say Chicago, and there's some guys there that reach out to us and like, I just want to find a group of men, or, you know, you could almost help pair them together and be like, hey, there's a couple of guys that we know of that have commented or DM'd us and they want to start a group, and or this has already started there. Or, I mean, I know we have different listeners in different parts of the area, so I don't know if you want like help finding a group of men, send us a comment or a DM, and so we can try to help find those people, you know, that maybe are reaching out to us already for that kind of thing, especially through the retreats. And I mean, we've had a guy, the retreat that we did, we had people come from hour plus away. We had somebody come from 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours away to attend the retreat, and he ended up moving here with his family because his family was here too. But it was, now he's part of our coffee group, and so it's just so important. So
yeah, that's interesting, because last week one of the guys who's fairly new to our coffee group is also a convert and was just confirmed and received his first Eucharist, and he just threw it out to the thread, and a few of us guys showed up for his confirmation, and Mike and I were there, and I realize now that like it creates lifelong bonds. Like when he looks back at the moment he entered the church and received the Eucharist, we'll be a part of that memory.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what men do for each other, or should do for each other.
We should have got a picture with him.
Yeah,
you know,
well, we can still do it.
We can. Yeah. We can reenact it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I think it's so important. I mean, it's one of the things I look to every week, you know, to get together. So.
Or twice a week.
Or twice a week, 3 times.
A lady.
And I think, honestly, I think too that I think a lot of the people's wives we've talked to, they're excited about it. Like they want this is something that their men, they can sense that this is something their husband or boyfriend needs, and so I mean, maybe I'm speaking to like people that are all like, we know, we just need to find somebody, or we have that. Actually, it'd be really interesting if you left a message or something that told us you were doing the same thing. Oh, yeah. I would love to know like where else this is happening, because I know that the Holy Spirit's doing it. It's nothing that we're doing, but to know like where else this is happening would be really interesting, because maybe there's like these little fires everywhere that are starting, and we're just talking about it on YouTube, so who knows.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we could even start to share those, like you said, with people to say, if you're in the Chicago area or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, we're at 41 guys.
Yeah,
I mean, we were packed into that room today. We were pulling in chairs, which has its own obstacles, because then we have multiple people talking, and it was loud, and so we ended up stopping, and then everybody sort of went around the room and just kind of introduced themselves, maybe talked about what's going on in their life, which was great, because then everybody could hear from everybody. Whereas when you walk in the room, there's 2 guys talking here, so that was kind of hard to. I don't know what you do when you have a big group.
Well, I mean, those groups it's good just to let the Holy Spirit do whatever He's going to do. But what I found is that it's the spin-offs from that. Like you and Doug now play a pretty regular gig. And Thad and Isaac and I started running together probably 2-3 times a week. And so you get these little spin-offs. And then I'm hearing about other guys that are doing the same thing. They're getting together and doing stuff. And there's no jealousy of like, oh, why aren't I invited to that? It's like, no, that's great. That's the point of this, is like, we're not all going to connect with each other and be besties. Like, you can only have so many close friends in your life. But it gives us this larger and larger pool to choose from of other men that are like-minded and willing to show up for us and pray with us and pray for us. And I think I've shared maybe on one of the episodes where, like, the first time I showed up and it was you and Andrew, and I unloaded some really difficult stuff I was going through, and just started crying. And these guys came over and put their hands on me and prayed with me, and I just felt so accepted and loved. So, like Mike said, maybe we're preaching to the choir a little bit, but it's just been so life changing for us to have good men in our lives. That's the reason we're sitting here doing this and have tens of thousands of followers.
I think, but that's the point. Like you when you like something, you find something that you enjoy, or you're like, you want to tell everybody about it. And so that's kind of where we're kind of coming off of a really good week. We've had Carl got, his first communion and confirmation, and so that was really exciting. And yeah, it's just kind of crazy. Like these men just are in your life all of a sudden, and then you're celebrating these most intimate, special moments with them. And I remember when Mark passed away, like we were asked to be his pallbearers at his funeral, and I remember, a handful of us sitting in the back talking about like, how do we get, we didn't grow up with Mark, like we weren't his childhood buddies and stuff. It was just kind of it meant that much to him that he and his wife had kind of orchestrated who was going to be there, and so it just was anyway, we're kind of
we
talking about that a lot.
We just all mourned with one of the guys from the coffee group who he and his new bride just lost their first child to a miscarriage, and so we're just there for each other in the good times and the bad. Like I went and watched and cheered on one of the guys. I saw him at the half marathon, and so it's like just being a part of guys' lives, and I think that helps us all to know like we are loved and we are cherished. I think when our group of people that we can know and trust is small, it's harder, I think, to receive that because they can't always be there for us because we're human. Mm-hmm. But as that grows and we have this larger group, like I just know I've got people I can lean on. I'm not alone. I'm not doing this alone. I got a bunch of people there for me.
Yeah. How's everything else going? Business.
Loaded question.
Business going okay?
Yeah, business is good.
Entrepreneur, so you're doing your own business.
Yeah, that has its own element of faith to it. That you ran your own business. We have to do our best. I kind of look at it like the scripture with the talents. Like God gave them to each, or the master did, but He expected different from each because of their own gifts and talents. And so I just want to rise to the occasion for my own particular gifts. And maybe I'm the guy with 3 talents, but if I can produce 3 more for God, then I'm going to do 3 more. And so that's how I look at my business is how do I love people and serve people through that? My son works with me, and that's one thing since day one, I've told him, like, this isn't about selling a product or a service. It's about people. And how do we love them and treat them with dignity? And so I enjoy running the business. We're going to grow here in 2026, and that's scary. Adding another employee, and it brings up some scary thoughts, but also like just remind myself like I'm not in charge of it. I'm just responding to it. So if I feel like God's calling me or asking me to expand the business, then it'll work out the way it's supposed to work out. Whatever that looks like. So,
yeah, you've gone through some scary things, and so now you know how to weather the storm. Like it's just another season that you're in. So, yeah.
Yep.
End of the year with business is kind of hard. Trying to get everything.
It can be. I talked to my buddy who's also in our group, who's my accountant today, and working through some of those numbers. And I hate doing numbers. I'm not a numbers guy, but I trust him. So
yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, no, so business is good. Having the retreat behind me is good. It's freed up some time for me to spend with my kids at the holiday season here, and that's been really nice.
Written any songs?
I'm writing one. Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, am I recording? And I am. In January, I'm going to start recording again.
Cool.
So I've got, I think, 4 that are going to be released soon.
Dang.
And then I'm working on 2 or 3 more.
So how many do you have released right now? 5?
Oh no, I've got an album, and then 7. Oh man,
12.
No, it's probably 15.
14, 15?
15,
wow.
Like that, yeah. So
dang, good for you, man.
Hope to have another half dozen out this year.
JonathanLittlemusic.com, right? Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm doing music. What about you? You're doing music. You do it every Thursday. Yeah, mostly?
I do. Yep. It's been great. Yeah, that's been really. I remember driving over there for the first, several times, and nervous, very nervous to stand up there in front of people and sing. But I've been noticing how lately it's been very fun. Like, I've been excited to go over there. Getting a phone call as we speak right now.
I know who it's
Can
from.
you see it?
Yeah. Don't look.
So I'm getting distracted, but I might have to cut here. Let me cut. Sorry. Hey, Mel.
Beep.
Hi. It's going good. Sorry. Do you need me? Yeah. No. Yeah, we're doing a second one. Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks, Mel. Okay. See you. Bye-bye.
This is a lovely bride. If she's asking if I want potatoes, I do.
Oh, with
I
peas?
also like some peas.
We don't have an oven. We haven't had an oven for like a month or so.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're trying to we're cutting back on the ovens. No, our oven went out. Our oven went out, and I tried to fix it a couple times with parts, but it's so old I can't get parts, and tried to fix it multiple times. But anyway, we had to go get a new oven. So we have no oven right now. But anyway,
You can borrow my oven.
okay, good. Well, just throw something in there, and I'll eat it. Yeah.
I'll put something in my oven for you.
So back to the boiler though. That is man, it's been great. It's been really a blessing that I've had that opportunity.
And when you started doing that, hope it's not too revealing, but you said that's something you wanted to do because you were kind of afraid of it.
Yeah.
And you thought,
Yep.
I want to go do it because I want to overcome that fear. Is that right?
Yep. And then you've also talked to me about that because I think there was some conversations around why do you feel like you need to not be afraid or something. There was some aspect of our conversation at the time of like, why do you feel like you need to do that? Like, which was interesting too. But no, that was something that I was, I didn't grow up singing or playing in front of people, and I was very afraid, and I get if I have to like do something like that. But I did it, and then I did it again, and then again, and now, like I said, I drive over there. I have like really zero anxiety. It's pretty crazy how that just went away, and there's almost now an excitement. Like you talk about being on stage and being excited. I found that, which is really interesting because now I'm like, I'm excited to play. Whereas before it was like, I'm just trying to get through the song and be done. Like I just want to end it and say I did it. Okay, I did it and I'm done. But now, it's pretty fun. I close my eyes. I thinking about why I wrote the lyrics and so it's. You write a lot of songs, so it's all originals for the most part. So that's been really healing and powerful and. I don't know. We don't get a lot of claps. It's pretty funny.
I clap every time.
Yeah, you do though. You're good. You're good at clapping. But I remember somebody. Not that I'm that good at it. But I remember somebody saying they were talking about some band. Oh, Dan Zock was talking. So Dan was, if you watch his episode, he was in the band called Remedy Drive. Was nominated. For the Best New Artist of the Year at the Dove Awards. Pretty amazing to watch that. Have you seen that video clip?
No.
It's back in 2009, and they were also 2013, 14. I think they were pretty popular. But anyway, they were. He was talking, and I can't remember what we were talking about, but I just blanked. Dang it. Okay.
You were talking about receiving awards.
Yeah.
For your music. You said nobody clapped for you. There was something about that.
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
I just wanted to reiterate.
Yes.
No one clapped.
He
for
talked
Mike.
about nobody. We're just gonna reinforce that fact. But he was talking about a band that had been around a long time, and it was they just didn't get a lot of recognition. And then all of a sudden they had a song and it just exploded, and their whole band exploded, and people were like, gosh, this new band is great and everything. And they're like, man, we've been around for 10 years. Like, but they were never in front of, I guess they didn't know, they weren't, the band wasn't playing in the right venue for people to appreciate who they were. And so I was like, oh, that's good to not take it personally, that I'll write something that's maybe vulnerable, I'll play it, and I'll finish, and and Doug plays with me too. He's got the djembe, and then and the only sound you hear after that is mumbles like this, and me shuffling my papers to the next song. And so there's like no reaction. And I'm like, either that was a really bad song, or nobody's really paying attention, or it's not like they're coming to see me play. They're just at a bar, and I'm just happen to be in the background. But so that I've kind of gotten over the fear that I'm not enough or I'm not good enough. I mean, that's beside the point. It's just I'm able to go do it, and it's fun. And anyway, it's been fun. Doug's been doing it with me, so it's been pretty fun. So yeah. Anyway, I don't even know where that was all going, but it's been fun. It's been good. Yeah.
Good. I think what the coolest part about that is when you said that you close your eyes and you just experience why you wrote that. Because for me as an artist, when I sing and I get to that point, that's like the nirvana of it or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Like I get to the essence of what the song's about, and I don't care who's listening. I don't care how they react. I'm singing those feelings that made that song what it is, both melodically and the rhythm and the music and the lyrics, and it all comes together, and I just feel what I meant. Like I think that's when we're at our best as an artist.
Yeah, that's good. And maybe you connect with one person, and
or maybe not, but even that, I kind of don't care.
Yeah,
like I'm there to experience it for myself. It's healing for me sometimes, and if other people connect with it, that's fantastic, and if they don't, that's okay, because there's plenty of music out there that's great music that it's not my thing, whether it's a different genre or whatever. That doesn't make it any less great of music.
Yeah, no, that's right. I mean, we're just playing because we love it, and if people want to listen, then great. If they don't, it's okay.
So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you a tough question.
Egg question?
Yep. How many eggs do you have?
6 or 7.
Fired.
Done. Over.
Can't fire you. You're not hired.
Yeah, I'm not making anything.
So,
I'm actually losing money on this thing.
Trust me, yeah. So when you discerned your career move recently, because that was 6 months ago?
Yeah, August.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, yeah.
Well,
summer.
Up to it, yeah. So that was a discernment for you. How did you discern that? Like, and I ask because we all kind of share different experiences in how we hear God, and we bounce that off a spiritual director or a friend or a spouse or whomever. So what was that? What was that like for you to discern? Because that's a huge move to close your business and get.
I
a
didn't
job.
close; it's still open. Yeah, that's good. I think we started talking about that, didn't we? And then we diverted to other stuff. Okay.
Can't remember.
No, that was. I think it's Father Mike Schmitz said it once, where he said he remembers, like when he was growing up and stuff, when they would go hunting, they would have to sight in their rifle, and so you didn't go out the day of opening season and go shoot and try to hit the deer. Like you would go out, a couple weeks before that, sight in your rifle, make sure everything was good, and so that way, if you were off a little bit, you could kind of tweak some things and get it back in the sights. And so he said discernment is like that, where you do your best to discern what you think God is asking you to do, talk to a spiritual director, and then you make a small adjustment. And then that way you can potentially pull it back if it was not right. So I liked his analogy or his example of that. So I think I've done a lot of different, I don't know, I wouldn't say super prudent decisions, but they've all worked out really well, and they taught me something about hearing God. So for this specific move of I was doing leather work for the last 3 years with my company, and then I felt this pull, like this, I just couldn't shake it, that God was asking me to maybe teach, and it did start with me being at a teacher that I knew had passed away from cancer. I went to his wake, and then somebody saw me there from Pius, sent me a message and said, "Hey, if you're interested, there's a job open at Pius to teach." And I was like, well, number one, I was at this event for this teacher that had passed away, so I was at church, and then the person who reached out to me, she goes to church, and so she's in communion with God too, and so listening to the people that I think are in communion with God, I took that pretty seriously, and so I started to discern, okay, what does that look like? Should I do that? I didn't have a teaching certificate. I didn't know how that would work, and so then I just started to be very vigilant over the next month or so. Like, what is God asking me to do? And I was trying to look at other examples of like, does this feel similar to other things? Anyway, I kept taking the steps towards teaching, and the doors just kept opening. Like, I had to take a test that was called the Praxis exam to determine if you are qualified and your material. And so I'm teaching art, so it was a proficiency exam on art, history, all this kind of stuff. And so I was like, I don't even know. Like, I took art in college, but that was 30 years ago. So I took the test, and they said you have to get a score of 158, and I'm not sure how the scoring went, but 158 was your score in order to advance to the next, I don't know, then you start getting your certificate. Well, I got a 159. So I barely passed, but it was sort of like God's nod to me of like, I got you covered. Just go forward. So I went the next, and I kept getting like teary-eyed about it. I just kept getting emotional about that. And then when it came up to the day of, like the retreat before the school year starts and these things, I was really having a hard time holding it together, because I could just feel the Holy Spirit moving through this thing, and I just felt so blessed. All this consolation just kept like overwhelming me, and so I kept realizing this is God. And there were things that kind of were obstacles that I saw as like the enemy's trying to stop it. I could see God consoling me, and then the enemy trying to stop it, and anxiety and fear and all these things kept weighing in. But anyway, so that was my discernment process of just listening, watching, being very vigilant, and speaking to people that I felt like were in communion with God, that they could give me good advice and their opinion on it. And it just worked out. So I've been there the semester ended, and it was amazing. I had some really cool, great kids. All of them were fantastic. Had some tough kids. One of my classes, 2 of the kids were expelled. I mean, there were some rough kids in there, but I had a few notes. I got like 5 handwritten notes from kids that were like appreciative of me being there.
Yeah.
I had somebody say they're my favorite teacher. That kind of stuff that was so powerful. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were days that I was like, I am ready to sign my contract that I am not coming back ever again. I was like, I am done, I am toast. But what initially grabbed me to doing it was that I remember going to the gentleman's, Don McKee was his name, who passed away from cancer. He was an amazing shop teacher at Pius, but I remember going to the wake that evening, and a bunch of Pius students showed up. And I'm like, okay, he affected them. They wanted to come to his wake and his funeral. And I thought, that's pretty huge when you're affecting kids. I can make a bunch of wallets, but they're not going to show up at the funeral. They may, I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, that's my story, man. It was really good. So I got next semester's in January starting. So yeah, who knows? And like we were talking about this morning at coffee, was that you go back into it, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be here for the next 20 years. This is great. And then I'm like, well, maybe God doesn't want me there. Maybe he wants me there for this 6 months, and then I'm out. Like, I don't know, and that's his decision, like what he wants to do. But I'm open to open to staying, I think, and I'm open to whatever the next chapter is. I feel like men's ministry keeps coming up, so I keep feeling like maybe I need to keep pursuing that more. But yeah, as of right now, he placed 80 kids in my life at Pius, that hopefully I'm giving them some value and yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I think the important part of that is the process of learning to hear his voice. Because like you said, he may call you away from this. He may not.
Yeah.
But whichever one it is, you want to be attuned to his voice.
Yeah.
And that's what you learn from it. So you can,
yeah.
now that you've seen the fruit from it, you can say, okay, this is definitely the path God wanted me to take. And I remember what it felt like. You know, those experiences of consolation that you had, the peace that you had, the determination that you had, the way that doors opened up for you.
Yeah.
All those things give you kind of a palette or a template for the next time you feel the prompting. You can take it back and kind of go through that same process with God.
Mm-hmm.
I find that he speaks to people pretty consistently in his mode that he speaks to them. Like it may be different between you and I, but for you, he's pretty consistent. That way you learn to hear his voice.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, growing up, and maybe not everybody has a good experience with this, but sometimes your dad, you could just look at him, and by the look on his face or his posture, whatever, you would know if he wanted something or how he wanted it done, or that he wasn't quite satisfied with it, or whatever the case may be. And I think we can get to that place with God, that we start to learn his voice and his mode of how he shows up in our life well. You know, if he's prompting us or trying to call us back. So I think that's the important part of your discernment process is what you learned and how to hear him.
Yeah, that's good. I was just going to say, I think you have to be vigilant too, that even, you know, as a Catholic, we know who Padre Pio is, and he's a saint that had the stigmata and the wounds of Christ, and very, very holy man. And the enemy, the devil, appeared to him as Jesus at one point and Mary. And so he had to discern, was this really Jesus? Which is, you know, that's very hard to, that was tricky. But what I heard was that with Jesus, Jesus didn't have his wounds when he appeared to him. And so that's how he knew. So, so there's just a slight, you have to discern, and that's where another person comes in to help you discern, because sometimes you can't figure it out on your own, and you need to have somebody outside of what is going on in your life. And that's why spiritual directors are so important, and a lot of the saints had them, and we both have them. I haven't gone to one for a little while now, but
that's
anyway.
Interesting. That visual that you just shared about Padre Pio and Jesus' wounds, because I heard somebody say something about wounds recently. Like our objective isn't to get rid of them; it's to heal from them. But even the glorified God himself didn't get rid of his wounds.
Right.
He kept them.
Right.
And so for us in our healing process, in our healing journey, like the goal isn't to get rid of them. They're a part of our story. But they're a part of Jesus' redemption story, if you will, in his rising from the dead. He retains what he went through. And so same with us, that we have these wounds. We all have wounds from our past. And the objective isn't to overcome them or get rid of them, but to thrive even though they exist.
Yeah, you look at this table, I don't think people can really see it, but like there's wounds on this table from just whatever, you know, could be a lightning strike for all that we know, but then they make this really deep groove. I don't even know where this one's at. Everything's backwards when I look at the screen. But anyway, there's it ends up becoming a really beautiful and complex looking piece of wood versus a vanilla, no wounds, very flat, you know. So those end up becoming such a powerful thing and beautiful.
Yeah, I made my own dining room table, and it has all the same pock marks and all that stuff, and that's the character of it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What'd you call them? Pot marks?
Pock. P-O.
Pock.
C-K.
Like Tupac?
Nope. There's 3 Pocks.
We are going off the rails.
So what else is new in your world?
We went and saw the movie David today. Great movie. Animation movie from Angel Studios. I was really touched. So I think it just came out, and this episode's coming out December 20th. Well, we're doing it's December 23rd, right? So shout out to my buddy Bob, birthday today, Bobber. Anyway, the movie was great. Oh man, I loved that. I love the story of David, and they really do a good job of portraying it for kids and stuff. But like Goliath in the movie is so gigantic, and David is a small little kid, and they have a scene where he's just walking out to meet Goliath, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, you are not qualified. You are a kid, and but he kept talking about like God is with me. Like, but I mean, I don't want to ruin the movie, but there's a certain couple of situations where he gets he's in danger, and
the ending's already written in the Bible. I'm just
I know, right. In the movie, it only goes up till he hasn't. Well, he just became king at the very end. Is where he's at. So he's young.
He became a king.
He's young. Yeah, he's
What?
young. But it was so cool. Like, he was so unassuming, and he was so in the movie. He was so humble, and in the Bible it talks about the part where he could have killed Saul, but he doesn't want to kill him because he's God's anointed one. Even though he knows that he's going to be king, he's already been anointed, and Samuel told him he would be king. He still does not want to go against what God had already anointed. And it's just really, there's just some really good parts in there where he's just not afraid, and God just shows up at the last minute in a big way in multiple scenes. And so, yeah, I don't know. That's what's going on. Just saw that. Yeah. How about you, man? Anything else?
Nope. Looking forward to a new year. Usually in December, I pray through what God's calling me to for the next year, like what my area of focus will be on. And so 2 years ago, the word generosity just would not leave my heart. So I made that the focus of my year, which ended up being pretty incredible. That I thought that meant I would be giving a lot away, which ended up being true. But it turns out it was God's way of saying, like, I want to know that I can trust you in small things. So can you please be generous? And the amount of times where I went to buy coffee for someone or a meal for someone, and instead someone ended up buying it for me. It was like God saying, I don't need your money. I just wanted to know if you'd be obedient. And so that was a year of learning for me about generosity and what that meant. It was probably the most generous I've been financially and with my time and my talents in any particular year of my life. And I'm 48 now.
Man, you're old.
That cuts, Mike. Well, mostly because I know you're older.
Cuts like a knife. Sorry, I'm older than you.
You're a crooner. And then last year, I had something else I focused on. And then, so what I'm looking at for this coming year is I realized in my own heart, for whatever reason, I have these glass ceilings that I have put in place of saying that I can't do certain things. And it's come up, like I kind of mentioned earlier, it's come up in multiple different areas that for some reason I have these beliefs that I can't achieve or do something. And those have been challenged lately. So I've been pushing past those. So I think 2026 for me, I'm going to focus in my prayer life with God and just saying, like, help me reshape my beliefs that you are the king of the universe and you can do anything. And you can use an instrument like me to do things greater than what I thought I could do. And I think that like a little glimpse of that was the retreat, and just feeling like, who am I to, be on a podcast or do a retreat? But like, the point is, you're not. I'm just me. And the point is, I'm pretty great because God made me this unique individual. So just the more I just become me and not put a cap on who I am, then I can let God use me in whatever way he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just are open to like doing something crazy and brave, like God does something so cool with it. I mean, I couldn't, like when we were talking to Doug earlier, we worked in IT for 11 years together, and I can't imagine going back to the cubicle, sitting there day after day after day, staring at a screen. I mean, it's a very scary thing to do, to like leave all of that and safety, security, all that stuff. But boy, no coffee group, no retreats. Like, I mean, that stuff just does not, you don't have time to do it, and so God's like, I'm going to take care of you and give you even more because you took a leap.
Yeah,
So,
the blessings have been abundant for me too. And that's not to say someone can't work at a cubicle and have fulfillment and find time for those things. Maybe they can, but for me, I couldn't.
yeah.
But I see what he's done with my life now, and it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point. It's if you enjoy that, it's your passion. That's one thing for sure. Like that's something that you feel called to do, and God's got you there, and you're doing some amazing stuff. That's great. For me, I dreaded it. I dreaded it a lot. I hated it, and I think God was just calling me to more, and He was patient, and so.
It's funny because I think there's probably some former teachers out there who are like, I could not stand teaching.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot of work too. Gosh,
yeah, it's just finding that groove that God's calling each one of us to, whatever it is.
Yeah. No, things are good, man. Getting excited for the first of the year, and we're maybe Jonathan and I and a couple other guys are going to make an attempt. We're gonna take a run at this of limiting our sugar, right? So we have. We haven't had Doug Shum on. We need to get Doug Shum on one of these times, man. But Doug's kind of going to help us hopefully navigate what that looks like to just be healthier and hopefully have more energy. And
so something that Mike did with some guys from our coffee group in 2025 was for each month they would camp out, and it was a sacrifice and something that bonded them together, something they were doing together, although they were separate. Although you did have one of the guys came out and camped here.
Yep, yeah. Seth did. He's on our podcast too, Seth Dwyer.
Yep. So that was 2025. So 2026, we're trying something. We're just going to try and cut sugar out. And Doug's kind of in charge. He said you don't cut it all out. Like fruit,
that was good. That was
berries
smart.
Are you need good sugars, natural sugars.
Yeah.
Good discipline.
So if I can speak about the camp out, that kind of came out of the Forged in Faith, because the Forged in Faith retreat a couple times a year where one of the nights we camp out, and it's kind of roughing it, but you wake up the next morning and you're like, are you alive? Yeah, I'm alive. Like you're just waking up, and it's awesome. So we spun off of that and decided to do 1 day of the month for an entire year. You camp outside in a tent, or you just kind of rough it for one night. And man, there's something about like consistency. Like when we were talking about singing earlier, like I just kept going. Well, so I just completed my last day of 12-month challenge 2 nights ago. And it's funny how I was not much of a camper, but getting to month 12 in December, it was pretty easy compared to January of last year. Oh, it was brutal. It was cold. I was freezing, but just continuing to do, I said I was going to do it. I'm going to do it. And so I did it. And man, it was just so fruitful. Like, I woke up the next day and I was just looking at the stars, and it's like, oh man, we did it. Like we were able to do 12, a full year. We did 1 month a year, or 1 day a month. So yeah, it was awesome. So I don't know if I'm going to do it again, but it was pretty fun.
That's okay if you don't. Like it's an experience you had.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was talking with somebody the other day about that, just the discipline of having something in our life, like me running with those guys, or like I go to the gym regularly. And although the gym isn't fun necessarily, there is kind of a reward from it. Same thing with like getting in the cold plunge at the end. I don't want to, especially when I'm looking out the windows at snow and barren trees.
Taking a nice warm shower.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I asked the other a guy in it the other day, and I said, "Do you know what the temperature is?" Because he had a watch on, Apple Watch or whatever. And he said, I think it was 48 degrees in the water.
Oh gosh, okay.
And I hate to, like, there was a challenge my son did once with like cold showers, and I'm like, I'm out, no thanks. But here I am walking into this cold plunge of 48 degree water, which is incredibly cold. Like I get out and I look like a lobster. Everything's red. Yeah, it was terrible. But I love the discipline of it. I love, like when I get up, my alarm goes off 6:45, and I'm like, I can't wait to work out, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the cold plunge.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I look forward to it. So the same thing with like, camping out. Like, yeah, you kind of dread the heat or the cold or the wind or the rain or whatever, but there is something, the accomplishment of it, to say, I'm going to do it, and I did it. You can look back at it.
What is that thing?
It's just a fly.
In the world?
It's a horsefly. I thought your tail was a horse tail.
Attacking me, dodging me. The heat in the barn, or it was cold in the barn, and we got the heat going now. All the animals and everything's kind of like waking up.
I was thinking that earlier when I threw something away, and I was like, I wish we could pan over and people could see what the rest of the barn looks like.
Oh, we'll do a tour one of these days.
Hey, if we do a live, yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
it
I gotta do a live. We're trying to get a live set up. There's not really good Wi-Fi out here, so that's the only problem. But what was I gonna say? You were talking about. I can't remember now.
Camping out, consistency of things.
Oh, I was gonna ask you about the cold plunge. I mean, you're not in the cold plunge for like 10 seconds and out. 3 minutes, right? Is that what it
I
is?
usually go for 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow, that is. I mean, that's a long time in cold water. I just remember, back in high school when you have to put your leg in the tank because you're like icing it, and like that first like 60 seconds, you're like, oh, there's just so much pain in that. But
I feel like a giant sissy when I first get in. There was this guy who's probably 65 years old in the tank up to his neck, and well, it's not a tank. It looks like a hot tub, but it's a freaking cold tub. And so I'm walking into it, and I'm trying not to make any wake because he's up to his neck, and so
the waves are like.
So I get in and I go down and I leave my fingers out. They just get so cold. So I got my hands like this, and it takes my breath away for the first 10 or 15 seconds. So I'm literally going, just like breathing.
Oh yeah,
and then
your breath.
Yeah, then I can kind of calm down and everything.
Wow.
I'm sure he's like, you giant baby. But and I asked him, I said, how long do you stay in for? And he said, usually 5 to 6 minutes.
Dang.
Yeah, so I look at him and I think like he doesn't have the greatest like physique of he's not a rock star or something, but like I know that man has the discipline to get in that tub this morning and stay in there for that long.
Yeah,
that's incredible to me. It says something about his character to me, and I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder, like, this would be a good place if you want to comment. Cause I'm not. I don't know. I should have to ask my wife. But like, do women have that desire too? Like you get faced with a challenge. Like when you talk, like hearing you talk about it. Like I hate the cold, but hearing you talk about it, I'm like, I want to try it.
Yeah.
Like there's something inside of me that's like, I want to see if I can get in there for 3 minutes. I feel like I could get there and be 30 seconds. Okay, when I'm starting to stare down another 3 minutes, wow, that's a long. That every second you're like probably counting, like, oh my gosh.
So once I get past 30 seconds, really 45, it doesn't matter. I could stay for 5 or not 10 minutes.
You're kind of numb. You numb up?
Not well, kind of a little bit, but I've gotten past the shock, and your brain is trying to tell you, don't do this. It's going to kill you. Because you will. You would die of hypothermia if you stayed in that too long.
Yeah.
So your brain is doing what it's supposed to do, but that's what I love about the discipline of it is it's your will over your body. And so my body's saying, stop, stop, stop. And so I have to engage that part of my brain that says, no, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yeah. That's good.
I like that. That's the part of the discipline I enjoy.
And I think if you just keep doing those kind of things, then other obstacles as they come, you're like, it's just another obstacle. I can overcome it. I've overcome things like this before. I mean, that's probably like military training, I'm sure, too.
Well, so Larry Kiter that we interviewed, he was the one that challenged me to do it.
Oh.
I got in when Larry was in there one time, and I got in for 10 seconds, and I tiptoed right out.
Gosh,
I was
right
like,
to the hot
that's
tub.
cold. Yeah, and Larry just kind of rolled his eyes, and I asked him about it later. I was like, how long are you in there for? And he said, 5, 6, 7 minutes, something like that. And I was like, what? You're crazy.
Wow.
And he said, once
Awesome.
you get past the first 30 seconds to 60 seconds, like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And it's because of what engaging your brain. Like once my brain engages and I say, no, I'm in charge, then everything kind of calms down. And so I do find that's true with scenarios where I get frustrated at someone or whatever it is. It's like, no, okay, don't let what do they call it? The lizard brain or something like that, where frontal cortex, I don't know all the science of it. But we engage in a really stupid part of our, like guys can be that way. Just you want to punch somebody because they said something. You're like, what? I don't want to punch somebody.
Yeah.
So we get past that initial thing, and so I think it grows that discipline in us to say, I can weather this and I can move beyond it. So that's a big part of why I do it. There's also some benefit to your body.
Oh, sure.
The healing process, but.
Oh man, that's great. Yeah.
Well, what last words of wisdom do you want to leave with those who have joined us today?
Okay, you know what? Last words of wisdom. So this is what I did. I had an idea, and I don't know if it's original. I'm sure other people do it too, but I had an idea of when I was leaving my classes, the classes that I was teaching. I had my last 3 things that I wanted to tell them. So it was the last day of school, and I laid out 3. I don't know, last phrases or whatever, just thoughts. And so one of them was, the first one was, oh man, as soon as I try to grab it, then I'm blanking. But be not afraid was the first one. So that would be my encouragement to people to not be afraid. Like there is so much fruit and doing something that seems ridiculous, that if you're following God and you feel like God's prompting you to something and you want to try it, do not be afraid. Like that is a command that he gives us. Pope John Paul II was very good about talking about that. So I would say do not be afraid. The second recommendation I gave to the students was don't settle. And I meant with their faith, with their life, with the person they're going to be married to. Don't settle because you will be miserable. Like if you're like I teach art, and so a lot of kids don't go into art because there's no money in it, they don't think. And so they go into something that's not, that's maybe business, finance, whatever. But I see these super talented kids with this amazing ability to do illustrations, to do ceramics. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope that you use this because you're very, very good at 16, 17, 18 years old. You're very good at it. So don't settle. And with your wife, whatever, don't settle on the person you're with. If they don't value you, if they tell you that you're not worth something, don't settle. Don't be with them. That would be my second advice. And then my last one was tomorrow's not guaranteed. So we've known people that have passed away close to us. People get sick, and we have there's no guarantee that Jonathan drives away from here and doesn't get hit by a car and has died. So don't settle. You think you have all this time, you're going to retire and have all this time at the end of your life to enjoy your life and finally use your retirement money and all that stuff. It's not a guarantee, and you're sacrificing. Like we get to go to coffee, and it's just amazing. So those are my three things. I did throw one, the guy that passed away down McKee that's at Pius, that I feel like he orchestrated even after he passed away, like my getting into this profession. But his motto was adapt and overcome. And that was his thing he always would say to kids, because he got to see the kids that did shop class, which a lot of times some of these kids would be failing every other class. But when they got into his class and built a table, they thrived. And it was just a way, that's why he was so loved. And but his motto was adapt and overcome, and I couldn't echo that more. Just in memory of him too. But there's so much that you're going to get hit with, especially if you're trying to do good. Like you're going to get obstacles thrown in your way, and so to find a way to overcome. That's my words of wisdom. How about you?
Thanks for sharing, Mike.
Yeah, thanks.
I think for me, it would be kind of playing off the last one you said. You mentioned if I drove away from here and got hit by a bus. One, thank you for volunteering me.
Car?
Yeah. Okay.
Like a race car.
Probably no buses out here this time of night.
Actually, we live on a bus route, as a matter of fact.
Well, so if it is a bus,
be a big yellow school bus would just destroy you.
It'd be quick.
Oh man.
So on that note, I don't want to say be ready, because I think that can come off as to be fearful, but it's not. Be at peace. Just know that the moment that we pass from this life to the next is a continuation of the relationship we currently have with God.
That's good.
So I don't want to say I don't fear death, because I hear that on people's deathbed, a lot of people fear death. I don't currently, for what that's worth. That at the moment I take my last breath, the next breath, I'm with the Father and the Son and the Spirit that I know. I know them intimately now. When we were at Carl's confirmation, like I told you leading up to it, probably 3 minutes before he laid his hands on him and called down the Holy Spirit, I got weepy. And noticeably, I thought, oh man, I need to go get a tissue. I'm going to start crying. And then when the Holy Spirit was called down, I'm like, he is present. God, the Holy Spirit, who moved the mountains and made them the peaks and the valleys and the planets and the stars and everything. He's here in this room with those, what was it, 7 people, 8 people?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just so intimate. And the moment I take my last breath, the next one, I'm there with him, and I get to see him. The beatific vision, to see the Father not just how I imagine him. And to wrap my arms around Jesus, to think of like Peter and Andrew and all the apostles, like they got to hug him. I'm sure they hugged him. And I think I get to do that. I mean, we get to receive him in the Eucharist, but he's veiled and cloaked in the form of bread. But like, I'll get to hug him at that moment. So like, I guess just be ready in joyful anticipation is maybe a way to say it.
I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, if it is tonight for someone, because it is for someone.
Oh, yeah.
It is for a lot of people.
Right, unexpected.
Like, just be ready to be welcomed into the Father's arms.
Yeah, I like, I believe St. Monica said it, St. Augustine's mom. She said, we're already living an eternal life. So as of right now, we're living our eternal life. It's just we're temporarily here, and then we're going to be there, hopefully in heaven. So, yeah, we're already living it. We go early, but...
Yeah, and we don't get to the point of presumption, and also because that can be a sin. But there's also the opposite of that. It's just like I'll never make it to heaven. Like there's this beautiful space in between. It's God's plan to be in a relationship with us for eternity. And yeah, at the moment we die, I'm sure I'll still have some sin on my soul or some reparation I need to do for the damage that I caused from my sin. And I'll have to clear that up with God, and we call that purgatory in the Catholic faith. But I'm guaranteed once that's done, I'll be with God in heaven, and you and all my other friends, God willing, we'll be there in heaven at the eternal banquet. And I look forward to that.
Yeah. It'll be a blink of an eye. I think we're there. So time's already flying pretty fast. So.
In the meantime, we get to have some pretty great times, though.
Yep.
I mean, this
Drink
life
a lot of coffee.
Pretty fantastic.
Yeah, well, thanks for joining us today. And we've done some different episodes lately, so go check them out. And if you have comments, we'd appreciate it. It helps us, like, as we get more subscribers, we're able to like open up different things on the YouTube channel and on different video platforms that we have. We have Patreon, so we're able to like drop special things there too. But the more people that we have watching and just having eyeballs on it, it just helps with it just unlocks different things for us that we can do. So, yeah, if you could do that for us and like and comments are great. We love being able to respond. Hopefully, we keep talking about doing lives, and so we're going to get those going.
Share it if you can. Subscribe if you haven't, and we look forward to sharing more with you.
If you're ever in Lincoln and you want to get a cup of coffee, Tuesday morning, 6 a.m., Scooters.
And you're always welcome to swing by and check out the barn. Just call first.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, you guys, for watching. We'll see you soon, okay?
So I decided looks like a different day. People will be like, "Oh, he's not even wearing the same outfit."
Oh,
yeah.
Should I do that?
Separate. Yeah. Take your shirt off. Wait, no. Keep your shirt on. You like the microphone straight or angled? What do you think?
Well, is it kind of like when you hold a gun? Should I hold it sideways? Oh.
That's my merch, bro.
Sorry.
Don't you put it upside down. Don't you do it. Saw that coming.
Okay. You know me so well.
Okay.
Jinx again.
Jinx, you owe me your soul.
Wow. Okay, that got really deep and scary. Oh, I didn't need to fix it. Oh, here it is. Okay.
I should comb my hair first. Better. Your scapular's still hanging out.
What? I can edit it. So
you can.
I can bring us in a little bit. Yeah, I want to make sure we get our sponsors. They don't pay us any money.
Are you just saying that because I don't pay us any money? Is that why you're saying it? You keep saying it.
Yeah.
Little country cheapskates.
All right, buddy. What do you want to talk about?
What do we want to talk about?
Haven't heard Frank in a while. He hasn't been around.
What'd you do to him?
I don't know. There's mice in here, so
Are there?
they maybe ate him. They'll eat a spider and a cricket, I think. I was surprised.
Mice never brush their teeth.
I thought you said I have never brushed my teeth.
No, I
Mice.
don't know if you have. Mike's never brushed his teeth.
Okay. All right, so welcome to the barn again. Have a great day. I did just recently see Amazon selling houses for $19,000. Have you seen those?
I have.
Pretty cool.
Tiny houses.
Yeah, but you like unfold them.
Yeah. I'm going to get one.
Are you really?
I'm gonna put it behind the barn.
Are you really gonna get one?
No.
Oh.
Ooh. Hey, Patreon member. We need $19,847 for something.
It's a surprise.
You'll find out soon.
And then could you cover the 3% tax credit card
Charge,
fee?
Yeah, the fee gets us every time.
Yeah. Content up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Anytime we got our phone.
Oh, that's what we need Aaron for, to tell us those things.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Thanks, Aaron.
You're welcome.
We'll just spitball and start
Okay.
and see where it goes. Oh, crap. That's not a good sign.
What's that? That was a quiver. Did you quiver?
I quivered, yeah. You'll have to go back and look at it. I did that. I went,
Oh, your lip even moved. Oh, for goodness sakes. No, thank you. I'm not even sure if we're doing that. Are we doing the Patreon thing now? We are?
we are, because you just said
Okay.
it.
So, Patreon members.
You know who you are.
Edit. Backtrack. Backspace. Patreon member. Not naming any names. Wes Newton. Thank you very much for your patronage.
Wes Newton.
Wes Newton. Wes. We should maybe... It would be nice to write a song about Wes. Oh.
Yes, West
That's right. Thanks, Wes, for supporting us. I mean, if you don't support us anymore, and maybe you already stopped, no harm.
Maybe after this you will.
Yeah. Okay.
Should we say Wes's phone number and address on?
Yes. Good idea.
people
Just
know
in case
which
people
Wes.
want to visit.